30%. We have 30% less broken eggs. We have higher uniformity, and we have more healthier birds, at least. So we talk about your pocket, we talk about this one. This is what we talk about now. I have an echo. Thank you. I have to say, because I often asked Ralph, do we don't need antibiotics anymore? Well, no, antibiotics can be useful for animal production, but we're starting before. We say a strong bird with a healthy gut can resist. So if you are using antibiotics, you are destroying the enemies in the gut system, the blood of the bird. We say, make the bird strong, create a strong gut wall that the enemies cannot come in the blood. So we are now concentrated on the gut system. If you're laying down in bed with inflammation, it comes mostly from the gut system. The gut system protects you from enemies like virus, bacteria, mycotoxins. It's the same at the birds. So we're talking now about a healthy gut system, and when a healthy gut system is existing, you don't need so much antibiotics, other things. Next, please. We talk about inflammation. Inflammation is the most important point in your epithelials or layers. Inflammation can have several reasons. We have vaccination can cause inflammation. We have stress, especially heat stress. If a bird is heat stress, and when I go to the houses in Nigeria, I see the birds like this. They have heat stress. They suffer from the heat. Then another point is the stocking density. Then is there a right good feed and water? Or are there some viruses, bacteria, all this can create inflammation in the birds. And if you face this in the birds, at least you can see it in the gut integrity. Last year we went to some houses in Africa, here in Nigeria, and I came to the farmer and said, "Oh, is your flock okay?" "Yes, my flock is okay." And we selected some birds, threw out of the birds, opened the gut system. It was bloody. It was not rosa, it was bloody. And I said, "This is not a healthy bird. Look, the gut system, the gut, it was bloody and bleeding, and it was shedding yellowish, slimy things." So the gut is very important for you and for the birds. Next, please. Can everybody understand me? It's too quick, or it's okay? Okay. So let's talk about intestinal health, because this is our mission, this is our point we talk about, intestinal health. If you can see now in the newspapers, everyone talking about gut system, intestinal health. We started with this for maybe 20 years ago, and we are the pioneers for this. And the product is also, I think, for me, the best worldwide. We are a market leader. Next, please. Yes. If you ask, it's okay now. I'm not so beautiful. If you ask the people what is the most important defense system of your body, they say maybe the skin or maybe the lung. No, it is a gut system. You get a lot of bacteria, viruses via your mouth in the gut system. So the gut system is the most active inflammatory organ in the animals. No one knows this. It's the gut system. Skin is also very important, but not so important as the gut system. Next, please, Danny. We have intestinal inflammation. I say the gut is a wall, a protection wall for you. So we have here the gut system. And if the gut system is perfect, toxins cannot invade, bacteria cannot invade, viruses cannot come in, feed cannot in, or parasites. The gut system has to be healthy, and then it's a perfect protection against these enemies. What happened when the gut system is not healthy? Then there's some streets in the gut system where all these enemies can wait in the blood. Very simple. And then you have, if you go to a house, you see on the litter yellowish, bloody things. Lot. I have never been filmed before in my life so often. Okay, next, please. Yes. What is common in antibiotics and alkaloids? Now, what you know already is the antibiotics. This is what is existing. But to be very sure, alkaloids coming from plants. And here you see the plant. It's called Macleia cordata. It's a feather moon. Can be produced in warmer countries, also in Germany. And this is our most successful plant we're doing since 20 years. And we have a lot of success with this. Next. This is the plant. The solution is not the man, this is a colleague of mine, but he's very tall. But you can see the plant here is growing about 3 meters. And we planting it in Germany and harvesting it. And also it's already done only in Germany to be sure that we have one quality. Quality not belonging to other companies, it's only in our hand, from seed to feed. Next, please. We talk about this, it's not a secret because we have a patent on this. We talk about this Macleia cordata, the name. These plants produce this alkaloid as a self-defense to protect them from bacteria. The self-defense system. There's something wrong with the yes. And as I said before, this alkaloid was used in for humans. Maybe you know this company Colgate for toothbrush. They put it in the toothbrush to prevent inflammation of the teeth. Long time. But they use more and more, getting bigger, and they eliminated it because they put some chemicals. But this was used in toothbrush for humans to press down inflammations. And it was very good function. And this is also a known approved active substance. You can go in internet and can type on sanguinarine. Sanguinarine is the name of the alkaloid. You can find a lot of scientific letters and reports of this. It's not an unknown substance anymore. Next. We're talking about product, it's sanguine extra. You can mix this in the feed. We can also use it for water. Very important for water. Where's broilers? Who's a broiler farmer here? Okay. What are you birds doing when they are getting ill? Do they eat or do they drink? They drink. That's important. We saw 10 years ago, we go to a flock and said, the bird's suffering. Yes, but we had not until WS water soluble. And we put now water soluble in the water, and you can affect the birds very easy if they restricted eating, but they still drink. So very easy, you can see the result after 2 or 3 days that they recover. I heard about customers that are using, there are some customers here in the room are using Sangoid, and maybe you can ask them, because I'm a salesman, but yeah, you should talk to the customers using Sangoid since maybe 5 years. Okay, next please. It's starting in history. It was well known as the old medicinal plant. Then Colgate take over, and Höchst gets a patent in Europe. And my boss Hermann Roth, he buys this patent in 2000 and make it big and stronger. And under this, Phytobiotics developed the product worldwide. As you can see, it is an old product, but we make it easy, acceptable for birds in water and in feed. Yes. What I said before, if your mucosa means the gut system, is healthy, this mucosa can take nutrients. If you have a laying hen, the laying hen producing broken eggs, thin eggs, and you put calcium carbonate, calcium on the birds. And you see after days, also broken eggs, nothing changed. What is the reason? The reason is you can put birds calcium and other things, phosphorus and vitamins. If the gut system cannot absorb it, it's useless. In the gut system, you have little fingers called filias, and these filias are raised or broke down like this, and you have no surface anymore. And if you have no surface in the gut system, you cannot absorb. Very simple. So we say a healthy gut system spares costs because every nutrient you put in the feed can be absorbed from the bird. That's a very serious thing. The next, please. I know what is a little bit what's now coming up or what's now existing here in Europe also. We have to feed the world, and it is done with industrial animal production. A lot of birds, a lot of stress. You have stock density, and you have other things. We have to feed the world. Next, please. And what's going on now? We have here on the one side, it's a little bit philosophical now, but you have to know it. We have consumer safety. Do I have in the feed or on the egg some antibiotics or not? We have animal welfare. Do they suffer from antibiotics? And have we, very important, bacterial resistance. This bacterial resistance in Europe, very, very important because more and more people dying in German hospitals because we have nothing that destroyed bacteria, the very active and aggressive bacteria. There's a big wave is coming to us in Europe. On the other hand, you want to make maximum profit and the most important efficiency. What you're using, okay, until now, antibiotic treatment or growth promoters. That's good. But you can use both. You can use antibiotics if needed, and you can also use a natural plant extract. Next, please, please. You see here what are the trends. The Dutch farmers, Cargill and the Oscar Jungers, are they always talking about resistance, about any antibiotics. So more and more the consumers know, I don't accept feed with antibiotics, excess antibiotics. I only accept healthy feed, healthy meat, healthy eggs, and healthy milk. Next. And now let's talk about intestinal inflammation again. Next, please. If you see why you use antibiotics, this was Kreinbrock, you make a big survey about this, you can say the most antibiotics are used because of intestinal inflammations. You use also some for respiratory or others. But here in the intestinal inflammation, you use the most antibiotics as before. Next, please. What is now existing and now happening in your body? We gave here nice feed, but if you have some inflammation in your body, the body needs some power for this, some nutrients, some proteins. So if you are little warriors in your stomach, in the gut system, you have to feed them. So every inflammation costs nutrients, costs protein. And you can give in the bird 1 kg of nice nutrients. You can be sure 300 grams the bird is using this for the inflammation, but not to produce egg, milk or meat. It's useless. You feed the bacteria inside your body. A healthy bird would use what is coming in, coming out. Outcome means meat or eggs or some others. Okay. Here you see these are the little called failures. These are the fingers in the gut system that has to be healthy and not destroyed. Next, please. What is sanguine doing? Now we make a test, because I can say, yeah, sanguine is good for the gut. But you can ask me, Ralph, can you test it? Yes, we tested. We destroyed the gut system of a rat, also other animals. You can see here the healthy control, the healthy mucosa. And then we take a poison, is DSS, and this destroyed the gut system. The bird was shitting and blooding and everything. Then we gave the bird, the rat, sangovit, and after 1 week or 4 to 5 days, the gut system was healthy again, because we pressed on inflammation. Next, please. Yes, but what does it mean? You can say, okay, nice to know something about the gut system, about this, and blah, 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 blah. At the end, what are the benefits for you? The benefits for you when you have a broiler house or layer house. We have tested also avilamycin together with sangovit. And you can see this was, we talk about the performance in the broiler house. And with a normal antibiotic, it's like this. If you combine it, you can even get better. And the doses, and you can have a dose. So that means you don't have to choose between antibiotics or sangovit. Make your own experience. Take sangovit, and then you can see if you reduce antibiotics, going good or not. It's your choice. You can choose it. But everything is possible. So sangovit or only a mixture of antibiotics and sangovit together. It's not excluding. Right. Next, please. We also reduce mortality. This is very easy for you. If you take sangovit WS in your house, after 1 week, you can take it in one house. In that house, you don't serve with sangovit. Count the dead birds. Very easy. Go around in your broiler house, put the birds, count it, and then you can see what is sangovit doing and what is done in a house without sangovit. It's very easy to control the system. I don't want you to show you scientific graphs longer. The point is, it's a very easy product, and if you take it, WS, you can see it on the dying birds and also on the number of eggs, the number of the broken eggs. You can very easily see if sangovit is working or not. Even for laying hens, the best performance, or what kind of if you have broken eggs or dirty eggs. It's very easy to control what I'm saying here now. Next, please. Yes, this is about effect of nitrogen balance and what I said before. The next, please. Yeah. Yeah. That is very interesting. We take some muscles, some intestine, some liver, and looked how much protein they have. They have in the health bird is gray, and we have enteritis. And we see when bird has enteritis, in the intestine there is much more protein, because in the intestine there's this wall, and the little bacteria need protein. Very easy to see this here. And in the liver, there have been also in the enteritis bird nearly 20% more protein, because the liver is working very hard, very hard. The muscles, the intestines work very hard. And now I ask you, when they get protein, from where they get it? They get it from the muscles. So the sick bird gets slim and slim and slim. losing meat because meat is protein. Next. And also the last, you can easily take a blood analysis and see what kind of amino acid like tryptophan is in the blood. Every lab can test it, and you can see that in the blood of sanguine birds, the tryptophan content is much higher. That means there are more amino acids in the blood, useful for the birds. Yes? The next, and then there's also a little bit time over, effect on liver health. As I said before, next please. If you go in a house and you say, oh, my birds are healthy, there's nothing. Slaughter bird, look at the liver, what is normally they're doing? Is there a yellowish liver, or is this a dark, healthy red liver? The first what I'm doing when I go in a house, open bird, look, what is the liver? And the man said, perfect, everything is, there's nothing. I select some birds, I know what, and then I say, but look, you have a yellowish liver. This is something happened with the bird, it's not healthy. So, and we tested it and we gave some points, and we gave the sanguine points. We see that they have a more dark liver, and the birds without sanguine have a yellowish liver. And the liver is very important for your body, for your defense system. So the signs are very clear for you to test it. You don't need a big scientific program. No, you see the birds, the dying birds, you see the eggs, and you see the healthy liver or the yellowish liver. Next, please. And now the last product I want to talk about. It's okay for you now? Or you bored? Okay, okay. Because if I speak, then Danny said, Ralph, too long. It's always the same. So please excuse, but I like the project. Now we have a second solution. We talk about first about sanguine, a plant, a natural plant extract, and we added to this active D, especially for laying hens for eggs and bone stability. Next, please. What's now existing or is now happening with laying hens and broilers? We have breeding success, management, optimizing, and innovative technologies. The layer farmers in Germany say, Ralph, it's incredible. The birds have such a high breeding success. They need more and more nutrients. The breeding is much higher than what the birds can take in. It's a problem. It's really a problem. So the laying hens must produce more sellable eggs over a longer period of time, which leads to decrease of egg shell quality. That's very clear. And especially optimal bone mineralization in broilers and improvement egg shell quality and laying performance in layers are key targets. So that means if you can get out of your layers more stable eggs and like this, it is again, we're talking about money in your pocket. Very simple. Next, please. Yes. So what happened? Those birds, those broilers and layers, we have some mycotoxins in the feed, we have some heat stress, we have the diseases, and this affects the availability of calcium and phosphorus. Very important for laying hens and for broilers, because if they don't get enough calcium and phosphorus, egg quality, laying performance, egg mass, stick birds, body weight, bone stability, lameness, cage fatigue. You know it. The birds laying down, laying hens in the cage. Why? Why are the birds laying down? What do you think? They have pain. They have pain. They have pain in the legs because it hurts, because the bones are not strong enough and the weight is too much. It's painful. If you walk a long way, you have to sit down. It's painful. Yes, the next, please. So, what are the symptoms if there's not enough vitamin D? Fatty liver hemorrhagic syndrome. We have some not so good bones that break, and we have cage layer fatigue. That is the symptoms of the vitamin D. It's very important for layers. Next, please. And again, we are a wonderful company because we're looking for solutions and we found them. And the solutions, yes, it's again, we call it golden oat grass. It's again a grass, a special grass. We take about 5 years to research. So the God created for everything happen in the world something to care for it. And this golden oat grass, Dani, is grown in higher altitudes, especially in the foothills of the Alps in Germany. And this golden gold grass contains a good form of bioactive vitamin D3, a very good bioactive vitamin 3. And it's cultivated and produced in Germany and Austria. Next, please. So I'm now coming to the point. I know you're still using vitamin D in your flux, but maybe you use the normal vitamin D, maybe high D or something else. But there's one very big difference in the words. If you take normal vitamin D, it goes through the liver, transformed to oxalase, through the kidneys, again, and then it can go to the intestine. And if you go through the liver, to the kidneys, what does it mean for the birds? Stress. Stress. If the liver is working and the kidneys is working, it means stress. And we see even in time of heat stress, when the birds are suffering from the heat, they don't want stress in the livers and the kidneys. They don't use it. They don't want it. Very important. They don't need it. Why stress a bird when you can make it another way? I show you how. Next, please. No, I said before, this grass, this golden oat grass, has a form of bioactive vitamin D. We don't need kidneys, we don't need the liver. If the birds feeding with our natural vitamin D, it goes directly in the blood, in the intestine. Very important. The bird, when they're in summertime, it's very hot, has less stress, because from the feed directly intestine in the blood. You don't need again kidneys and liver. No. This is the secret. It's nothing more. Directly from the feed in the intestine. No bypass of liver and kidneys. That means less stress for the birds. And stressing birds are more and more in the world a very hot discussed point. Stress from the bird, because stress of the birds creating loss performance. Next, please. Yes, this is a little bit a graph from laying performance. You can use active D to make your performance a little bit like higher. It was not so much but normally for elder hens, you can use it from week 45. And you can see, again, count the eggs, how the older hens will produce more and longer eggs. Next. Research only some graphs and then I will end. Yes, next please. So we make what we say here, we make tests, scientific tests in institutes, because that's very important. And we selected now, Lohmann selected Leghorn, we selected for 5 to 6 birds. We have a negative control, so no vitamin. We take vitamin D3 and we take active D in 2 different doses. So we have the group with no vitamin D, again, the normal vitamin D, and then our product active D3. Next. And you can see, now we talk about egg breaking strength. You can see here that the product active D is much better than the normal vitamin D3. The red is vitamin D3. And even for older hens, they recover better and they have better performance. The distance is very high here. Look here, from here to here, here to here, here to here. So this is the most important. They can earn more money, buy more eggs and more performance. Next. Okay, we're in a second trial. Next, please. Again, we tested and we tested this, and especially we are testing because we see, oh, something happened with the older hens. We tested especially older laying hens. We have more eggs, the laying performance much better, the egg weight much better, the egg mass, and the feed conversion rate goes down. Very important. Next. Yes. A little bit impression from our work together with my partners, Dani and Hamu. There's a beautiful lady also behind. We work a lot of this, and we are willing to answer every question. If you want, we can talk about 5 minutes about heat stress, but I don't want to stress you. Okay. So if you have questions for heat stress, we can show you some other presentation, but I think I'll talk a lot. So if you have questions, I'm now here, and don't cut your head if they're making a question. Every question is nice, and I hope you will test it one day and see that the results are not a lie, the results are true. Thanks.
Please a big round of applause from that powerful presentation. Thank you very much. We've listened to the presentation. I know many of us will have questions, but because of our time is fast spent, we will only entertain few questions. Knowing fully the situation of the country, security-wise, it is because of this presentation that our security men, God is our security, but the security men are supposed to leave by 5 p.m. But they are waiting for us for another 20, 30 minutes. We've gone through the presentation. I can see some hands up, but I don't want to call the hand. Dr. Wageti is raising his hand. If you should ask Dr. Wageti to ask question, he will turn it to another 1 hour presentation because it's loaded. Dr. Wageti is loaded. We will deny him this evening. This is Dr. Brown, the product manager for Sangrofit, and we have Mr. Daniel Acero, who is the 6th marketing manager for Phytobiotics. A big round of applause for them. They may want to have 1 or 2 things to say in 1 minute, but after which we now call on, because we have vets in the house, we have nutritionists in the house, we have farmers in the house who have listened to this powerful presentation, and they want to have 1 or 2 comments. Special recognition to Dr. Uduka, is a vet. He may want to have something to say in 1 minute. Dr. Wageti, he may have something to say in 2 minutes, but the 2 minutes should not be 3 minutes or 5 minutes, 2 minutes. And Dr. Mark Ojola also is a vet in the house. If you want to say 1 or 2 things about the product or about the product presentation. And my sister in yellow shirt, are you? You want to ask a question? It's also an animal scientist, Abi. Okay, then my daddy here is a farmer. You want to ask a question? Any comment or any something from you? Okay. Let's start from Dr. Uduka. Yeah. Dr. Uduka is a farmer, is a vet, and is from Ota, Ogun State.
Okay, so what I want to say is I've been farming for 20 years. And I found it difficult to shift. We've always relied on antibiotics all these years. But I think your presentation is quite timely. It makes a lot of sense. If I had heard anything from you, if you had said Sangrofit replaces antibiotics, I would just have walked out. But when you say it reduces use of antibiotics, it's okay. It makes a lot of sense for me. Thank you.
You're right. I never said push antibiotics away. I said they're useful. And that's a very important point. You recognized it. Because you have so many conditions on the farm. Maybe you have to use antibiotics. You have that. I want to give you another tool to play a little bit with how much antibiotics and if you want natural antibiotics. You're completely right. I didn't say push away because this is the most question I get. No, You're a farmer, you know with your own eyes what your birds can do or not. And you see performance or not performance, you can see it very good. It's in your hands, but what is very important, to give you another tool with, together with antibiotics to do something. But you're right.
Thank you. Dr. Wageti. Dr. Baba Wageti is a farmer, is a marketer, and is a vet. 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, my brother, and good fellow farmers. Well, thank you for the presentation. And I want to just comment the presenter. And I want all of us farmers to know that we are moving away from antibiotics natural products. That's why the world is moving towards. And we need to imbibe this type of innovation. Because a lot of farmers, especially in Nigeria, they replace management with antibiotics. And that's why the problem is. And like he mentioned earlier in the presentation about this drug resistance, scientists have postulated that by 2050, 10 million people will die due to antibacterial resistance, 10 million. And out of that 10 million, 4 million in Africa, 4 million in Asia, and then the remaining balance in Europe. Why is that the one is lower? Because they follow regulation, they follow management, they follow protocol. But here we don't follow. So my dear farmer, let us work on management. Antibiotics should be the last resort. Thank you all.
Already right. We say you can turn on the wheel of sangavit, please, but if the big wheel, like water, air condition, feed is not right, it's useless. So the first, you're very right, management. And when you have a good manager, then you can take sangavit, but you often have a farm that takes sangavit and say, Dr. Ralph, it's bullshit what you told us. It's not working. I visit this farm and see the birds unhealthy, dirty, no water, no feed. What do you want? First management. What you said, guess how many people dying in Germany per year by bacterial resistance? Guess, what do you think? How many people dying in Germany per year because they have bacteria inside? You can do nothing. We have no antibiotics. How many? What do you think? 15,000. 15,000 people dying in the average per year in a hospital in Germany because my stepfather, he has a COPD and he laying down. This is a pneumatic disease, and he came down. He's a doctor, and the professor said, "My colleague, I can do nothing for you because we have no antibiotics against this bacteria you have inside you." So 15,000 people dying in Germany, high educated, because of the bacterial resistance. You're right. And this is a problem that will rise up more and more and more in the world. And what's very important, in the 70s and 80s years, all the big companies, Bayer or other things, producing some antibiotics, they stopped it. Because they say, no, we cannot earn enough. We have a problem. We have really a problem. Okay, I talked too much. Who was the next?
My question is Sangofide a vitamin or an antibiotics or a mixture of both? It's an antibiotic, sir. Okay. I would like to answer that. Should I repeat the question? Okay. How do we know a good or healthy gut in an animal, especially in the birds? How do we know a good or healthy gut in an animal, especially birds? And yeah.
Okay, you will answer? Yeah, come on.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. One, what's the name again? The product. Some is photobiotic. Photobiotic is pro-plant. You know, we have acidifiers, we have macrophages, we have photobiotics. So this one is from plant. and even mention the plant there. It's photobiotic to fight infection. No, it's just natural product from plant. Just like now, there are some plants in Nigeria now you can use to treat malaria. All this. There's no voice. It's photobiotic. It's a class of it's all like Oga said. What?
It's new for you. But yeah, it's an alkaloid. If you take coffee is strong alkaloid and it makes you awake. It's the same from the plant Maclear gordata you put in. It's an alkaloid that works on different things on inflammation. Second is how you can see. Very simple. Slaughter a bird, see on your litter, and see on your performance losses. Very simple. Okay. He was the second.
What you're trying to ask is you're trying to categorize Sangrovit. Okay, Sangrovit is not an antibiotic. An antibiotic is antibacterial. But Sangrovit belongs to a class of its own called phytobiotics. These are, you have things like cinnamon, moringa, ginger, and all that. They belong to products that are made from, from plants. That's why you have the phyto there. Thank you. I hope it's fine. Okay, when you open a gut, okay, let me start from on the outside. Now, when you see a normal poop, when a bird poops, you find out that it is a little like grayish with a white cap. It's hard. That's normal. But when you are beginning to see something like green, yellow, brown, multicolored, white, you know that something is wrong. It's just like in human beings now. You know the consistency, how the normal physics should look like. But when you are beginning to have something watery, something green, you know there is something wrong with the stomach. It's the same thing. That's on the outside. Now, when you open your bird, even if you are a layman and you see that the intestine that should be something creamy, like just cream, just plain, is now very red, or you see green, or you see it yet, you know, all sorts of funny colors, then you know that something is wrong with it. I don't want to go into the technicality, but just to a layman, you know, you may not know what it is exactly, but you know that something is wrong with this intestine. You may not be able to say it. I hope I've answered you. Okay.
Thank you so much. I want to commend the speaker, and I want to advise farmers. You see, using this kind of products is the best. I'm Sheikh Buma Konjola. I'm Dr. Sheikh Buma Konjola. You are my colleague. Now, using this kind of a product will bring results if some precautions are taken. One, we need to ascertain the status of the day old chicks or the point of lay before you begin to use this kind of a product and you want to get results. The biosecurity on your farm. When we're talking of management, let's farmer know that the basic management is around good biosecurity. If you don't have good biosecurity, if the status of the birds are not good, you won't get any benefit from this kind of. And lastly, you see, the environment where you are bringing your birds to use this product, it's better you do zero monitoring and you do hygiene audits. Do the hygiene audit to know the challenges that those birds are likely to face and clear it before you bring in the birds and you begin to use these novel products. Thank you very much.
I have a proposal. If she cannot be there, I cannot be there, I not be there, you take over next. Okay. Other questions? Okay, excuse me.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate you for the wonderful presentation. My name is Oduake Onucha. I came in from Kwara State, Ilorin. Ilorin, Kwara State. Yes, I happen to be the chairman of PAN in Kwara State. My question is very, very simple. Your product, what's the distribution network? Is it in Kwara? Is it in Ilorin? Where can we get it precisely?
Shift over to my organizer here. It's a good question because it's a matter of prizes, and this is he can answer it.
Great farmers. No farmer. In Kwara, we can start with you, sir. Since you asked for this, we can start with you, sir. We don't have, can't call it a distributor, but if you want, we can start with you, sir.
Yes. We will really appreciate that even in Kwara, because presently, even as an association, we're trying to have an outlet wherein we could assist our members for, distribution of items like these, drugs and the rest of that. So please, we can talk about it.
For general, we can visit our booth tomorrow, booth 15, fit about B15. Then we can discuss further on how to. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, before tomorrow, can we have your contact here on the screen now? The contact of either the sales manager or the any of your staff. Please look on the flyer. It's saying look on the flyer. The numbers are there, so you can contact them on that flyer. But see them on at B15 upstairs today, tomorrow, and on Thursday when the program will be ending. Any other comment? Okay, thank you very much. On behalf of the company, we are also an associate staff. Well, I want to appreciate you. Being the administrative executive of the Poultry Production of Nigeria, I'm always an associate member of any company that's bringing any good product. I underline any good product. And in Poultry Production of Nigeria, we are very proud to associate with this company. Thank you very much. What's that? No. That's the end of the program for today. Tomorrow by 10 a.m. we are starting our seminar. There'll be a seminar tomorrow and product presentation. We have lots of product presentation. We have about 7 companies presenting tomorrow. Seminar, panel session tomorrow here at Dove Hall. Thank you very much.